Hi students, welcome to week 7. I want to go over some things that from looking at your work I think need clearing up. We've been talking about estimates, revised estimates, and final invoices. And I think I want to just pinpoint some things that need to be clear. An initial estimate needs many things. It needs all the business information, it needs the customer's information, it needs the car information, and it needs one more thing, which is why did the customer bring the car in? It may have come in for an oil change and we may know that we're going to be putting some oil in it, but no parts are listed on the initial estimate. The initial estimate is not for any detail other than car information, personal information, and the initial concern, why the car was brought to the shop. So there's no sales tax, there's no parts, just the initial labor agreement and the maximum cost at this point, knowing what we know, to get started. That allows the technician to work on the car. The revised estimate will be what we found. Car went into the shop, maybe we found some other things, maybe we found just the diagnosis for the complaint. Customer is probably not there, they're at work or they're at home, and they're not going to see the work order unless it gets electronically, digitally transferred to them somehow. But at that point we need to contact the customer to get the authorization for whatever increases we have come upon. The final invoice is a different thing entirely. It has all the information that I just discussed, and in fact it's the same document which progresses from the initial state through the what did we find in the shop state to the last piece, which is what do we do about it? So the car came in for a no start perhaps. We gave them an initial estimate of an hour. The tech gets the car, finds a bad alternator. We write what we found, which is we tested the system, we found a defective alternator, and then what did we do about it? That's what goes on the final invoice. All of that, including that we replaced the alternator, and after we replaced it, we tested it to verify that everything was working properly. Now we have a parts list and a subtotal. We have a labor list of everything we did with a subtotal of labor. We have sales tax subtotal, and we have, most importantly, the final cost for everything, which should agree with the combination of the authorizations that are noted on the final invoice. Never can there be a final cost that is larger than the sum total of the initial estimate and the revised estimates. Okay, so we're going to be creating these in the future, and I just want to make that point. This week, there will be, as always, a discussion, which since we can't discuss in person, we'll have to do it here, which in this case is a test case. It's a situation that I'd like you all to look at and then just to let us know how you would handle that situation. And as always, you'll need to make a contribution, and then you'll need to give at least 2 other students feedback on what they are suggesting would be the best course of action. And then there are 3 PowerPoints this week. One of them is a repeat, I believe, of something that we had last week. But the focus this week is, what do we need to know as service advisors? We certainly need to know what the customer wants. We need to know what car they're driving specifically. We need to know what manufacturers recommend for service on vehicles, how frequently things are recommended by the manufacturer. We need to know how much parts cost. We need to know what the going labor rate is for common procedures, repair and maintenance procedures that are done in the shop. So one of the main tools at our disposal to find much of this information out is called ALLDATA. Some of you are familiar already with ALLDATA, some of you have never heard of it. ALLDATA is a wonderful resource, a massive electronic library of information at our disposal. It's expensive for shops to purchase this software, but you are all lucky people because you have access to it while you are students. One of the PowerPoints will show you how ALLDATA works and how to access it. We have another commonly used software called ShopKey, which I will also show you how to access. But in either case, I will invite you to check out ALLDATA, and then your assignments this week are based on retrieving information about cars, which is a vital piece of what service advisors' work is. Do service advisors need to be journey level technicians? The answer is no, but we do need to know about how cars work, various car systems. We need to rely on our technicians for their expertise and details, but we will spend several weeks getting to know and getting familiar with most especially ALLDATA. So check those out. As always, progress through the module at your own pace, but definitely go through each tab that's available to you. Do the discussion first and early if possible. I think that will help. And the discussion is due on Friday. The assignments are due on Sunday evening. And this week we also have quiz number 2. That will also be due on Sunday evening, and I strongly recommend that you do the quiz last. The quizzes are always based on work that we have been covering, so they should be, if you've done the work, if you've done the reading, if you've looked at the PowerPoints, you should be good to go. So that's what I have for you. I'm always available to you on my Gmail, which I check daily. And I wish you all well, and I'll see you soon.